Hello and welcome back to my shop. Carrying on with this Bosch DAC90a radio, we've tested the valves, we've removed it from the cabinet. So the next step is to go through and replace out all of the old wax capacitors. So that's what we're going to do today. Now the first one to do is the one that usually sits here, this one here in fact. It's usually clamped on, but as you can see it's in awful condition. In fact, the end had already come off and it was sat dislodged like that. So we're going to replace that one. A bag of bits. What we've got is a proper Class X capacitor. And now what this cap does, it sits actually across the mains input, across the one side's connected to live, the other to the neutral. It's vitally important, but as you can see with the old ones, they do tend to explode. So I'm going to chop that one out. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Also, unfortunately, I might need to replace some of this wiring too, because it's in very bad shape. Very bad shape. But we might get away with leaving that wire in this side. So if I can just pull that back somehow, we'll be able to cut it out. There we go. Where does that wire go to on the inside? Back of the switch. Right. And the other bit was this bit here. Removing any of that excess solder that's on the joint. See, shielding's falling straight off this wire. Here it is, it's just hooked over. If I can get it out, we're good to go. And there we go. Right, so let's have a look. That's that wire. It's very dirty in there. See if I can just give it a clean out. I'm going to want to remove all this wax that was there before as well on the old cap. That's gone. Get in there with a toothbrush and just give it a quick clean. Remove anything that's excess. What I actually have is a small spray bottle here that's got some acetone, some nail polish remover. Spray that on the toothbrush and then you can really get in there and clean off what you need. Or clean off what you don't need, in fact. And you end up with something that's a bit nicer to look at. Right, so here's our new cap. 0.1 microfarad. And it was there to there. Am I going to make this more difficult for myself in the long run, do we think? I probably am, but never mind. Just going to connect that. Is that what I need replacing? That one's okay, it's just that other one. Okay. Just going to bend a slight hook in the top of this. He says. Round and down, and that's nice in there. Solder that back into place. So there's our cap. Soldered in one end, and here's the wire from the other. So we get some wire strippers. Take off what we don't need. It's had a wire repair before. It's been spliced in the middle. That's naughty. It looks like it has. Maybe it's just excess solder on there. Oh no, it has, I can see it. So let's just cut it out a bit easier. Hot. So let's right back. Let's make a hook in that one that way, like so. And a hook in that one going this way. Connect the two up, like so. Like so, he says. And then we can just solder that in place. That's going to be fine there. Right then, next one is where have I put my sheet? There's actually one sitting on top of the output transformer, which is C19, I think. Can't even test that one. Right. What was I looking for? This. C19 or C20 depending which sheet you're looking at. Tone corrector 0.01. Where does that sit then? Why can't I see you? So I'm just looking at the service data here. So this, the Bush service data says it's C20, and the trader sheet says it's C19, but it's in there, sits on top of that transformer. It's actually here. Now, there we go. You've been given 3.01s. Right, so 0.01. Okay, sorry, camera stopped recording then. So we're going to go ahead and replace the next cap, which is the one that sits on top of the output transformer. So 0.01. Here's my replacement. This is my capacitance tester. So we're just going to measure it to see, or to confirm that it is 0.01, 0.09, 9.6. So it's close enough, isn't it? So within 10%. Right. So next job then. Let's really difficult to see, but it's sitting on the output transformer. Let's just chop it out. There she is. So all of these wax caps, I think they're paper caps inside and then they're dipped in wax, and it's to stop moisture getting in, but unfortunately over the years it just doesn't work. Right, all of the dirt is covering up the value, which is annoying. So, a bit of acetone. Give it a clean up. See if we can unravel the value. There we go. 0.01 microfarad at some value. 500 volts. Right. So it just went across the primary. So left those stubs there. I could solder it to that, but I think I want to solder it to the terminals itself, which is going to be risky, but we'll have a go. Thing is, I don't even know if the radio works, so who knows what we're going to do. It's always amazing how much solder comes out of these joints, these connections. Sorry if it seems like I'm really struggling, it's because when you're filming yourself working, you have to put things in a really weird angle for the camera, and so you find yourself doing all these funny twists against things that would normally be really easy. But there you go, hey ho. Gone. Right, and the other one. It's up here. Get out of there. Okay, so if you weren't, or you haven't seen the other videos before, this is a radio that I bought online and from an auction site, and the guy who sold it to me says it's in perfect working order. Well, if I wasn't an amplifier technician, I would have plugged it straight in. But I am, so I took it apart, and it really needs some work. I don't actually know if the radio works itself. Haven't applied any voltage to it yet. All I'm doing at the moment is just replacing all the bits that all the forums and things say you should do, which is all the wax capacitors. I'm going to replace the cap can as well, and I'm going to go through and measure some resistors. The guy who I bought it from said the bulbs don't work, but I do know that on these they are very dim, so maybe he just couldn't see them because they were very, very dim. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. Anyway, so that cap's out. Paintbrush, give it a dust. I've got another wire there that's completely crumbled, and whilst I've got easy access to it, connects from the dropper, mains dropper, up to here to one of these resistors on the back, which I assume, well, it's a high wattage resistor, so it's obviously very important. Anyway, I'm going to have to replace that wire. Snip. Oh, I wish I'd seen that earlier. So as I was saying, yeah, we're going to replace all those caps, fire it up slowly, and then see where we are. I've tested all the valves. They all tested good apart from one which tested bad, but I don't know. I haven't got a replacement to try, so, and of course valve testers never test things at an appropriate voltage, which is annoying. So sometimes what fails on the valve tester will end up working perfectly in the radio. There we go, one wire. All of the insulation that was on there has just kind of fallen inside. There it is. It's all that was left. Look. Anyway, so I'm going to get that done. Replace that quickly. Still a bit of wire there. Oh no, it was a solder. Connect it up to there. Right. Need some wire. I'm done with my wire. In my wire bag. Some nice red high voltage wire. That'll do. Let's go up to there first. What are you connected to the other side? Who knows? Who knows? Let's bend it round. Hook it through. Hook it on. Crank it down. Solder it in place. And then we just need to bring it down to about there. Clean that up a bit more, I'm afraid. Some of that solder that's already on the dropper, I didn't get it all off. So ironically, if I add some more to help melt the rest of it off, there we go. Then you can just use your solder sucker and it all comes off. Waste the solder there. There we go. Through with it. Just twist it on there. There we go. And solder it in place. So that's that wire replaced.